Good morning, travelers. It is day 3 of our 4-day cruise on the Norwegian Prima, and we are docking in Progresso today. I've never been here. Should be interesting. I'm going on a long tour to Chichen Itza. We actually probably spend more time in the bus than we do at the site, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens when it's far away. So, I have never been to Chichen Itza, and I figured, how often do you get the chance? Might as well try it. There is another set of ruins that they offered excursions to that are closer. I'll do that next time I come. I figure this one is, if I don't come back and I hadn't gone to Chichen Itza, I would feel like I had missed something. So that is my plan. Okay, I will let you know what happens. It is not quite 7:30. We have not docked yet, but we should be soon. And we're supposed to meet down on the pier at 8:15, but I think we might be a little late because it takes usually a while to clear the ship. But I guess we'll find out what happens. I'll let you know. Brought breakfast back from the buffet this morning. travelers, it is Solo Sue here. It is the end of our day 3, and Chichen Itza was amazing. So the bus ride out there took about 2 hours, and we had about 2 hours at the site, and then it was about 2 hours back, and then there was a little bit here and there for, sort of, it was over 2 hours, it was slightly over 2 hours to get to and from, so that took up the rest of the 7-hour time frame. It was by far the most popular tour, and the line for that was quite long, but it moved really fast. They had a lot of different buses there for it, and so they were able to accommodate us without any problem. And we got on their bus. The bus was a beautiful bus. It was nicely air conditioned, and it has a restroom on it, and it was just a really nice bus. So our guide was very firm about this. He said that we were going to be escorted in. He gave us each our 2 tickets for getting in, and we were to all walk together as a group through, they have these little turnstiles. And then he did mention there's a $3 GoPro fee. If you have a GoPro camera for some reason, I guess a higher end camera, you're supposed to be charged this fee. And I expected to be charged the fee, but nobody ever asked for it. They did search the bags and everything, and since I had read on the internet that you couldn't bring tripods and all this stuff, I basically had a GoPro just by itself. And GoPros, they're not that big. They're probably about this big, and they're black. And my purse was black, and they probably fell to the bottom. And so when he searched my bag, he didn't say anything. And I walked on, and later on it occurred to me, well, I never paid the $3 fee for the GoPro. And I thought, well, I guess if someone accosts me as I'm using it or something, I should pay it then. But nobody did. So I was walking around just holding the GoPro in my hand. And it worked out pretty well. I think I got some good footage. I will warn you, the sun is brutal on that site. So it's the end of the season. It's the end of October. It's almost November. And so it said it was going to be in the 90s, and of course there's a high humidity, and being out in the sun trying to get footage of, or anybody who's there is going to be trying to go and see these the pyramids and everything else, right? Only the sun is so punishing. And I got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to find some shade. I need to get some water. I need to, get out of the sun, or I'm going to wind up with heat stroke. And they gave us each a small bottle of water. So it was like a half bottle, right? Getting off of the bus. I think there were people who were going to be selling water and selling, I think, sodas there. They were just setting up their area right where the buses come in. And so they hadn't set anything up yet. And so I had the bottle of water with me. Yeah, I believe there was a place you could buy it after you paid your tickets, before you got into the park. And so that was also an option. And then later on, when I made the full circle of the park, or the site, I ran across, there's a permanent store where you could buy cold drinks. Now, it was $4 for a regular bottle of Sprite, which, is expensive in the States, much less in Mexico. And they probably get a lot of people who are fairly desperate at that point when they get to that part of the site. Anyway, there's a gauntlet of vendors before you get to the check-in area and buy your tickets, or, don't, because they gave it to you as part of the tour. And then there's vendors absolutely throughout this. Anywhere there's shade, because there's quite a bit of trees and that sort of thing in different areas, and they set up under the shade, and everybody is trying to entice you into, whatever they're selling is $1. I wasn't interested in buying a Mayan calendar made of resin, or a little replica of the pyramid made of resin, or any of this stuff. So the only thing I bought was the Sprite. So it was fairly inexpensive shore excursion for me. But yeah, it was amazing. It was really, really good. And just walking around, they actually tell you that only 90% of it is still untouched. It is still not restored, and so you really can't see it, but it is just an enormous sight because of that. And so the part you're able to visit is good sized. You know, we had 2 hours. I could have used another 2 hours easily, and I wouldn't mind going back to it. But I think if I go back to Progresso, I will go to the other ruins first before I go back to Chichen Itza. But yeah, it was beautiful. You cannot climb the pyramids. You cannot go into the buildings. They are all roped off. Apparently it's been like that for quite a long time, because wear and tear on the site was from humans was too much to be able to preserve it, and so they stopped access that way. But you can get, you know, you can get to the outside. You can see all the things, and they have some occasional smaller pieces, like the sculpture of, I don't remember what his name is, but he looks like a guy who's just kind of leaning back and, you know, chilling, and he's got this plate on his abdomen. I don't know what the significance is, but that's what he looks like. And they had, I guess, probably statues of what they think it looked like in its full unaged phase. There's probably some better ones that have not aged so poorly as the ones that we saw on the site. But they have those right outside of the port, and they're replicas, of course. And he totally looks to me like he's just chilling there. But yeah. So they gave us well, they called it a box lunch. It came in a sack. It was a prepackaged sandwich, a little snack, and then it was like a little snack bar, and then there was an apple. I do not know what the meat was. It was mystery meat. It wasn't bad. It was fine, but I don't know what it was. And you're apparently able to request special meals. Like there were 4 people on the bus that needed vegetarian meals, so apparently you can request that through the cruise line ahead of time. And those actually came in boxes, come to think of it. But yeah, most of us had the sacks. So while they gave us the water at the beginning of the tour, at lunchtime as we're driving back, and everybody's very warm because, you know, we've been out there for 2 hours in the blazing, brutal sun, they told us they didn't have enough water to give each of us water again, but they passed out cups, and they had 2 liters of Coke that they were pouring into them if you wanted. And I think they also had beer, but I'm not 100%. It might have been a joke. I don't like beer, so I didn't care. And I had my Sprite, so I was fine. I was glad I got Sprite in retrospect. And so yeah, that was a really good excursion. After I got back, I decided to have some iced coffee. And then I had dinner in the buffet, because one of the things they told us in that seminar they had us go to was that there was wood-fired oven pizza in the buffet. So I wanted to go and hunt that down, and I was glad I did. It was good. I had a pepperoni, three little tiny slices of pepperoni straight out of the oven. It was, you know, so fresh, and a little bit else there, and some tea, and that was a good dinner. Okay, so I did see the Galaxy, what is it, the Galaxy Pavilion? Really cool. Lots of cool things there. Definitely try it. You'll see the video when I post it, but yeah, that looks really fun too. And I'll see if I can get to any of those or not. All right, that's it for tonight. So Lucy signing off.